Love that Hennessy bottle starting us off the Overtime Sports Show, most interactive sports show online. I'm AV. That's my partner, the homie.
G-Man, 97 out of the box of G and the Pimp. Hey, man, it's Wednesday. I'm excited. Yeah, we still the most hated.
Most hated? It's fly. Man, it's Wednesday, as you said. Looking for everybody to chime in. As always, your comments are important to us. We got a lot to fire off. We got a release happening today. We've got this new vaccine, supposedly, that's going to help one of the marquee players of the NBA hopefully return. And, of course, we got a lot of college basketball action and football action we got to get into today. So we got to thanks to the wonderful people who power the Overtime Sports Show. Hennessy, never stop, never settle. G-Man, the Rockets are rolling, baby.
Man, you know what? I got to admit, I made a mistake the other day, man. When they were losing to Oklahoma City Thunder, I thought they had lost the game. So I was like, the other day, I was like, yeah, we're going to need to start a new winning streak. And then I looked up, I'm like, wait a minute, they won 5 in a row. Where'd I mess up at? I messed up on the Oklahoma City Thunder game. So, yeah. So what are we, 5, 6 in a row now? What is it?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt that when you have Oklahoma City on your schedule twice, and you're able to go back-to-back against them. Now, mind you, I went to the game the other day, and Kevin Porter got hurt again in the game. He was actually, I don't know why he was playing, because you could tell on the court that he was limping and struggling and having a hard time. But I saw something with the Rockets that has really got my attention, and I definitely want to get your opinion on it and everybody else's opinion on it as well. It seems like the offense is moving a little bit better. Don't shoot the messenger. It seems like the offense is moving a little bit better in the absence of Green and with Porter kind of injured in a way.
I mean, I think maybe just people stepping up, I mean, Green is the center point of this team, him with Christian Woods and Porter. But nah, you got to have Green out there. I'd rather have Green out there than not have him out there. And Kevin Porter.
Hey, because listen, man, this winning streak started in the absence of Green. And I'm not saying that he's not a talented player. I'm just hoping that as he's sitting and watching on the sideline, he understands as a rookie, you don't have to try to do everything. Yeah. Because you remember Christian Woods a couple of weeks back, he was frustrated because they were not passing the ball. And all of a sudden, when they started passing the ball around, we go on this winning streak.
Yeah. No, I think they're going to be okay, man. Like I said, we talked about it a few weeks ago. I still think it's going to be at least 2 or 3 years for the Rockets.
Yeah.
But they're showing a lot of promise right now, young. I mean, they started off, one game that they won. Now
1 and 16.
16 game winning streak. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying that they're gonna be world beaters and go to the playoffs this year, but they definitely showing some heart. I think I guess Coach Silas's stuff that he's trying to implement is working. So I don't know. They're fun to see though.
Yeah, fun to see, and I enjoyed myself, like I said, at the game the other night, just watching the young team come together and do some great things. James Harden is back tonight, of course, with the Brooklyn Nets. Yep. And speaking of, Kevin Durant won't be playing tonight, LaMarcus Aldridge, because they're not playing in the back-to-back. But James Harden is returning home to the city. So what do you think James is going to do tonight? Because this is the first time he comes back, and there's going to be a nice-sized crowd at the stadium.
Yeah, no, well, he actually came back last year. They did the little video tribute for him and all that.
Yeah, but remember, it was the COVID crowd, so this one is more open. So it'll be a lot more people than last year.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think they're going to do the whole tribute again, but
I hope not.
I think the city of Houston's already pretty much done with it. I think for most fans, I mean, I think they're over the whole Harden thing. I mean, he's still a great player.
Will he get booed at the introductions? I'm thinking they still gonna give him a little boo.
Oh when he gets
introduced.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna give him some boo. He's gonna have some boos, and I mean, but that's just territory, brother. You know how that is in sports.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to go off for 40 points tonight. I'm expecting them really to try to step it up. But I believe the Rockets can get the victory tonight against Brooklyn, because I think they'll be playing with a lot more motivation. But I know James definitely want to show off for the team. And I was trying to say to myself, and Carson, you can comment on this as well. Man, I still think the James Harden that we got with the Houston Rockets is the same Harden that they're getting in Brooklyn. And what I mean by that, I just don't think James is going to come through in the clutch.
Well, he's been proving it time and time again, but I mean, but think about it, man. The Nets, they don't have KD all the time. They don't got Kyrie. I just, I mean, what more can James Harden do in the playoffs if he ain't got a full squad? I mean,
yeah,
kind of unfair, but it does go with the territory. I mean, he kind of, built that. He kind of set his own bed. He got to lay in it, so that's what people know him for.
Yeah, he diving in. And speaking of Kyrie, I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know if it's probably coming out from his camp, which says that he may be swayed to take a plant-based COVID vaccine that they say is in the works. Now, I haven't heard anybody talk about this plant-based COVID vaccine. Yeah, and his coach hadn't heard anything about it. But
the only plant-based I know is definitely not legal in Texas.
So,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but do you have a feeling? I've been kind of getting this sense that I think eventually he's probably going to return before this year is over with.
Man, that's a lot of money that boy leaving on the table, man. That's a lot of money, man. I think if he loves the game of basketball like he says he does, he wants to come back, kind of like what John Wall doing with the Rockets. He's kind of saying, "Hey, man, you know what? I'm ready to come back. Let's play, do something." I mean, sit on the bench. I mean, yeah, you're a millionaire and you got money and all that, but bro, you're still a young dude, and you're letting all these millions go away, man. I mean, they're gonna beat them when you come back, but is it worth it?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, man.
And I know his hesitation. He's been against the vaccine, and I know he has his reasons for it because he felt like it was tested on animals and not really humans. And I get the fact that he has his own beliefs about it, but to think that that somebody in this camp who's leaking out about this plant-based COVID-19 vaccine, because we have not, as Ty said, we have not heard of this plant-based COVID vaccine.
Is it weed? I mean, I don't know what it could be. I mean,
yeah. But I just think it's kind of like signals coming out from the camp that he may be kind of trying to find a way to get back on the court.
Or maybe just saying it's a plant-based vaccine, but get the real vaccine, but don't make people feel like, I told you you're going to get it. It's a plant-based vaccine. It ain't the same one, which it is. But,
hey, we're going to have to call Dr. Fauci, man. You got Dr. Fauci's number. We got to call him and get him on the line and see, is this real? Is this a such thing as a plant-based COVID-19? I mean, I would be all for it. I would definitely take that if it was something that was real good, but I'm like you on the fact I think that his camp is just kind of leaking this out so he can find an avenue out to get back on the court to play, because Brooklyn definitely needs it.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but I kind of forgot about Kyrie Irving. I don't know about you, but kind of forgot about him already.
Yeah, and that's the thing about. But I'm glad you said that, because that's the thing about the league across the board. Out of sight, out of mind. People move on from you real quick. And as you said, they just made the adjustments. They kept playing, and here's no Kyrie. And after a minute, you forget he was even a part of the team. And so I think if we could see that as, sports analysts or even just fans, if we could see this from an outside perspective, just probably think of the conversation that's going on inside his camp, that they're probably realizing the same thing too, that we've got to do something. We can't just continue to sit here and be null and void through this entire season.
He don't want the vaccine. He thinks the earth is flat. I mean, Kyrie had his own. He got his own things going on in his head, man. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's that too. Hey, but what I do know, the Houston Cougars basketball team is rolling again. They beat Alcorn State at home the other night, 77-45, moving 8-1 on the season. And the team is stacked, man. We know they lost 4 seniors from last year's squad, but this team is stacked. And Tremont Mark, he's getting back. He's had a shoulder injury for the majority of the season, and he got 18 points last night against Alcorn. And the team is looking real good, man. Just wanted to show them some love as they continue to roll. Got a big game coming up against Alabama this Saturday, which is going to be big.
And actually, the game they did lose in the Maui Classic, they were down. They came back and lost by 2. So they showed some heart there, man. I'm like, okay, the Cougars are down by 15, 12. They came back, put some points up towards the end of the game, and lost by 2.
Yeah, they had a bad start in that first half, and it was a 20-point lead. They were down 20 points at halftime. But like you said, they were able to dig their way out. And even at the end, a controversial call here or there, You know, even at the end of the game, and you remember the point guard didn't pay attention to the clock, and the time actually ran out on him. And other than that, man, I think the Cougars could have came back and got that, which just shows the mark of a great team that they never give up. Speaking of great team, G-Man, I got a shout out to my TSU Tigers as well. They pulled the upset of the night the other night, knocking off number 20 Florida in Gainesville for the Tigers' first win of the season, because, you know, they play their first 13 or so games on the road against the, majors in the NCAA to get that money so they can come back and support the school sports athletic department. So
that's a big win. I mean,
yeah,
that could be one of the biggest wins in school history, man.
Definitely was, because, you know, that was the first time somebody in the SWAC was able to beat a powerhouse like that was ranked, you know, during the regular season. And so congratulations to the TSU Tigers, who are doing great things, and looking forward to them winning in the SWAC. So that's a couple of our NBA and NCAA news that's going on, powered by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. Let's get right to it, man. We got to get to it, man. Your Houston Texans. Lord have mercy. Tyrod Taylor, I thought his girlfriend got on his nerves Sunday morning, or his woman must have did something to him and broke his heart, because the brother was horrible in the first half of Sunday's game. Horrible.
I don't know what the heck. I mean, some days you look at Tyrod, you're like, oh, this boy can play, like against Tennessee, against opening game against Jacksonville. You're like, okay, this boy can play. And then,
torn ligament he's out with now, that they say, because they, you know, he hit his hand after getting hit by one of the defensive linemen, and he got up holding, and they decided to pull him out of the game. But I was like, before that, I was like, he needed to be pulled from the game for Davis Mills, because, like you said, he was throwing the ball in the dirt. He was throwing the ball past the receivers. He wasn't even in the vicinity of any of our wide receivers, that it was almost embarrassing.
He had a bad game. Lucky for him, there was only less than probably 20,000 people in the stands watching it. So, I mean.
and half of them had bags on.
Yeah. And the other half had the other team jersey on.
Yeah. Were you shocked today by the breaking news that Zach Cunningham, of course, who didn't play this last Sunday, he was suspended for coming late, missing his COVID test?
You know, I think Cully's trying to set an example, bro. I think he's like, you know what? I don't care if you Jay Reed or not. You're gonna sit this game. You can't talk back to the coaches. You can't, or whatever the dispute was. And then Cunningham missed, late a few times. One thing about the NFL, the guy, the Coach Coughlin, who's the coach of the Giants, he said, if you make it 5 minutes, no, if your meeting's at 5 o'clock and you get there at 5 o'clock, you're late.
Yeah.
I mean, they want you there before. So if the meeting's at 5, you better be there at 4:50.
And he just signed a 5-year, $48 million extension. And one of the leading tackles for us last couple of years. But you could tell with his play, I observed it last year and even this year, he wasn't even playing on third downs. His play had gone down so bad. Not that Zach is a bad player. I just think he lost the interest. He realized the writing on the wall. He knew that it was going to take years for this team to bounce back. And I think that he was just looking for a way of escape. And the way of escape for him to get out of Houston, show up late, go against this quote-unquote Texans culture that they're trying to set in place now.
Oh, somebody's gonna pick him up. He's a great. I mean, I love Zach Cunningham. He's a good player. I love Zach Cunningham. Somebody's gonna pick him up.
Oh, Zach be able to sign. Hopefully he'll be able to pass through waivers. But he'll go to a playoff team, and then we'll be sitting back saying, man, that's the Zach Cunningham we know, because he realized we're not going anywhere here in Houston. So I think, G-Man, watch it. This is probably the new way to get out of H-Town. Just don't show up for stuff.
I think the next one who's probably gonna want to get up out of here is Brandon Cooks. Probably. He's probably saying, man, I'm wasting my career here. I mean, he's having a good year, really good year, actually.
Yeah, and remember, Justin Reed's contract is up this year, so he'll probably be another one that'll walk. And I think we'll be, Nick Caserio, the general manager, finally came out this week and admitted after all these weeks that it's a rebuilding process and it's going to take years for us to build it back up. And I just think they're wiping slate the clean of everything that had to do with Bill O'Brien.
Well, you do that, we got another 5 years before we start. I mean, I'm done, bro. I mean, I still watch them, but I don't watch them like I used to. You know what I mean? Like I watched them this past Sunday, went to ran some errands, came back, watched it on my phone a little bit here and there, but I'm just not all into it. Like, oh, I got to go to a bar and watch the game, and it's just not like that anymore. I mean, hey, I'd rather watch. I hate to say it, but I'd rather watch the Cowboys play.
Nah, don't you say that? Don't you say
that because it's like
they rolling.
You don't know what's gonna happen. The Texans, you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna show up and they're gonna stink. Cowboys, they're gonna show up and play like a Super Bowl team one week, and the next week they're gonna play like the Texans. I mean, you never know what's gonna get with them.
Well, I hope Zach Cunningham don't go to the Cowboys. At least go to the Packers or something. I think it'll be nice if he go to Green Bay. He have a good chance at winning the championship, or even to the Rams. I wouldn't be mad at that. Yeah. So everybody on this squad this the worst squad we had. I agree with you, Carter. Everybody's trying to get out. Everybody who's got a big contract is trying to get out of here, and I'm not mad at them.
What did you think about the Patriots Bills game on Monday night? I actually watched that whole game. I was like, that win was crazy. The Patriots threw 3 passes the whole freaking game.
Give it to Belichick. Belichick, I don't care what you say. Belichick and the offense coordinator is skipping. His name is skipping my mind right now. But they came up with a great plan. That was a great strategy. Run the ball, play great defense, and they were able to knock off the Bills.
And they knew what was coming. They knew what was coming.
I hope we get a Brady Belichick Super Bowl. Let's settle it for all.
I gotta go with the GOAT on that one. I gotta go with Tom Brady, not the other GOAT. I gotta go with Brady.
Hey, listen, I think Belichick out coaching.
You ain't gonna do it with 3 pass plays in a whole game against the Bucs. I can guarantee you that.
I don't know, bro. I think that defense, he got the defense humming.
Hey, playoff time is coming up. It's getting good. It's getting exciting, man. I just think there's a whole bunch of teams in the NFC who are still up for grabs. I mean, you got the Rams, you got the Cardinals, you got the Packers. I mean, even the Cowboys, you can put them in there because on any given day, they could show up and do what they did to the Falcons, win 40-3 or whatever, but then they could show up like they did against the Broncos and lose. So, I mean, you just never know. But that's why the NFL's tournament is the best ever, because it's a one game, you one and done if you don't win.
And my thing, like you said, I think Cowboys got a good chance, but I think it would be just befitting if we had a Super Bowl with the Patriots and the Bucs playing, and you have Belichick against Brady. I think it'll definitely be one that will be one of the highest rated Super Bowls, most watched Super Bowls ever.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I really don't. I still think Kansas City's got something to say about that. I think the Chargers, although they lose a lot of games they shouldn't be losing, they still got a lot of firepower. I mean, it's gonna be interesting, bro. The last month of the season is gonna be nice.
Yeah, Kansas City, and to your remark, Kansas City has awakened. The defense has gotten a lot better in Kansas City, and people are not questioning Mahomes and what's going on with the Chiefs now. And people are on the lookout like, wait a minute, Kansas City may be able to sneak back in. But just for fun's sake, I think that it's good to see the Patriots' best record in the AFC right now.
Yeah.
Best record in the AFC. Belichick and a rookie quarterback who only threw a couple of times on the Monday night game. Shout out.
All over again 20 years later.
Shout out to the Detroit Lions for winning their first game of the season.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I thought they was going to throw that one as well. But we're still looking at second and third pick right now. The Giants only won 1 game, so we still a game and a half back. They had a tie against the Steelers, so I don't know.
Yeah,
we ain't looking too good to win any more games either. So
and we're getting rid of these key players. So keep doing that, and Lions keep winning, so we can get that #1 overall pick. Congratulations! They announced the Heisman Trophy finalists, and Bryce Young. You got to give a shout out to Alabama for beating Georgia, man. God, dog.
I didn't see that. I mean, I knew Alabama was good. The way they played against Auburn, I'm like, okay, they're not gonna beat Georgia. But then they came in there and did what they did to Georgia. Auburn gave that game away. They had that game won.
Yeah,
Alabama
they had it.
But, you can't – that's what happened. And then as far as speaking of Heisman, I think they totally missed on the Alabama defensive player who's got way better stats than the Michigan player. more sacks, more tackles for loss, everything, and he's not even included in. But I don't know. I mean,
even the punt returner, the cornerback from the University of Houston, who's had the most kickoff returns in college football history. So, when it comes down to this Heisman, I know it's tough. I tell you one thing, the Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan, the defensive end, I like him. He'll be a good pick for the Texans as well because he reminds me of JJ, and CJ Stroud is good, Oklahoma State quarterback, and the Pittsburgh quarterback, Kenny Pickett. But I think it'll be between Bryce Young, who's a heck of a quarterback. And listen, these are my two desires for the Texans. If you can get Hutchinson this year and then Bryce Young next year when he comes out, we'll have a quarterback. We'll have a key defensive end like we did before. And I think we'll be back on our way to going back to the playoffs again as the Texans. That's my wish list.
And I'm not even gonna submit a wish list because it's gonna be about 3 or 4 years before anything happens. So
I know. I'm still
gonna rock with the team. I got a lot of friends on that team, but
that's my only hope, man.
Support, and it's not the players. I just can't support the front office and give them my money for train wrecks like this, man. I just can't.
Yeah. Well, it's my hope, man. It's my only hope. Congratulations to Carlos Correa and Daniella, their parents, for the first time. Now, they had their first child, the birth of their son. They announced it on social media, Kylo. So congratulations to Carlos and Daniella on their first child. Maybe since he had this first child and he's here in Houston, man, he won't want to uproot the child and move him across the country and they'll keep the baby here, right here in the city. Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping too, man. I mean, I've been, with everything going on with the lockout, with, Seager getting all that money from the Rangers, there's a lot of stuff going on. I think Carlos, believe it or not, man, I think a lot of cities I've been watching on Twitter, they don't want him there. Like LA Dodger fans are like, man, if you bring him here, I'm done. So, I mean, but then again, you bring somebody like that and he produces, you learn to love somebody real quick.
Yeah.
But I hope he stays here, man. I really do. I hope he stays. I have a good feeling that he's going to stay, but.
Build your family right here. Carlos, don't uproot the baby. The baby right here in Houston, Texas, in H-Town. Don't take the baby away from his home. Keep the baby right here. Kylo want to live right here in Houston and enjoy it, at least for the next 5 years until he get out of daycare. And then if you want to move him in elementary, it's cool.
See, Carlos kind of doing what I did when my daughter was born. I was living in Dallas, and I told my wife, I said, you cannot come live over here. You got to stay in Houston because that baby's not going to have a Dallas name on that birth certificate.
That's right.
Houston, Texas. They ain't going to say Dallas, Texas. So Carlos, that birth certificate says if he wanted to go to the Yankees, he should have took her to New York and said, have the baby born in New York.
Yes.
Whatever. But that's how I did it. That's how I
agree with you. I'm with you. I agree with you, T, man. That's wisdom right there.
I'm like, you stay in Houston. I'll fly in every weekend. You stay here. Because that person is going to say Houston, Texas on it.
I'm with it. Before we get out of here, man, let's jump back to a little NBA. Those world champion year before last Los Angeles Lakers. Who's to blame for this new mess, this new look Lakers struggles that they got going on? I'm really enjoying this because they got all these, Russell Westbrook, AD, LeBron, Dwight Howard, just to name a few people on this full all-star, superstar Los Angeles Lakers basketball team. But they're struggling right now, G-Man. Do you blame LeBron? Do you blame AD? Man, do you blame the coach?
I think it's more on the coaching side, man. I mean, you got the players. I mean, the players are running the plays you call. I mean, who can argue with LeBron or AD or Westbrook? Yeah, Westbrook can be a little erratic shooting the ball and all that, but I mean, you got 3 Hall of Fame players on your team.
Yeah.
I mean, Father Time could be it, Carlton, but I still look at LeBron. He put up 30-something points the other night.
Yeah.
Almost 40. I mean, he's still balling. Westbrook had a hell of a game. They beat the Celtics the other night. So,
but they need a lot of Ben game, man. They need a lot of ointment because they're not playing like they played in the bubble, even though I know that was an entirely different team.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to make the playoffs. But I think they're going to be a lower seed, so they can they can be right in the middle to the lower seed. That way, all the pressure's not on them. We're the number 1 seed, number 2 seed.
Well, I tell you one thing, they better not get to the low seed because they have to play Phoenix, and they don't want to go back that way again because it's going to be over. Players still got to play. Coaches coach, players play. Carlton. You know, that's the old school, Nicole. That's the old school saying. So I think a lot of times the responsibility falls on the players. We saw it with Brooklyn last year. Chemistry is something that you got to work at, get better at. It just doesn't happen overnight. And when you keep switching these players out at 3 and 4, 5 different players every year, they're struggling trying to get to know each other. Westbrook, I don't care where he's went when he came here and even going to LA, it's always been a struggle for the team. They'll do good, get to the playoffs, but somewhere along the line, man, they fall short. And I think, like you said, that's what's going to happen with the Lakers again. So who's to blame? Everybody's to blame.
Everybody to blame. Every goddamn body.
Yeah, everybody's to blame. Man,
everybody.
Yeah, blame everybody. And I'm happy. You know, that's like when the Cowboys lose. They go get all them players, and it don't matter, and they still fall short. It makes my day. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Another exciting episode of the Overtime Sports Show, powered by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. Make sure you get you something. Enjoy you a little drink tonight or this weekend as you get ready to enjoy these holidays that are upon us right now. Be sure to like, share this video. If you're not watching it with us live right now, you get a chance to see it later. Be sure to share. We appreciate you guys being with us every week. G-Man, let them know, homie, how they keep up with you. What you got going on?
Hey, G-Man 979, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and of course, G-Man Guerrero on Facebook. And that's what it is, baby.
Man, you got some bikes back there, man? Got any bikes you give away?
No, it's gonna be Saturday, man. We giving bikes away. Actually, I got another bike to give away here. It's gonna be a boys 26-inch bike. I'm gonna give away. Woo! So for those that are watching and listening, when you hear the IJustGotHit.com sounder, be number 9, and you're gonna get that bike and that free party on the Saturday main event.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've been passing our bikes for the past a couple of weeks now, and we got a single mother shopping spree that's taking place as well. So all you have to do is just text SHOP, that's SHOP, to 71007 and get the holiday helpline and tell us why you can use the $500 shopping spree. And we're going to do that on Friday, going shopping with the single moms. And then Saturday, as you said, we're going to a special location at the main event. For the bicycle giveaway.
And don't forget, tomorrow morning, y'all, we're going to give you the secret location, the free gas giveaway. 1-800-411-PAIN. Free gas tomorrow. And it's going to be a couple of hours, $25 worth of unleaded gas in your ride. But you got to listen to Good Morning H-Town. And, of course, you guys.
Smiley. Yeah, so we're going to do it at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. in the morning. We'll be announcing the locations on 97.9 and, of course, Magic 102.1. So you guys make sure if you missed the location on one station, hurry flip to the next so we can share with you where we're going to be for that free gas. All right, follow me at Faith and Fame with AV. Until next week, G-Man, happy holidays, homie.
It is. Happy holidays, y'all. We'll see you next week. Peace.